G'day folks, Raymond Foster here, hope you're doing great. Anyone who's being honest obviously agrees and accepts that Western kind, via anti-whiteism, is the most persecuted race on the planet, the most discriminated folk on the basis of our race. This is evident and obvious in the world around us. So again, all genuine, honest folk accept that reality, the truth that white people, members of Western kind, are the most discriminated on the basis of our race, out of all people on the planet, out of all the races, all the ethnicities. No race is attacked on the basis of their race. No race is dehumanized, slandered, stereotyped like the white race, Western kind. So this is a very simple introduction to further conversation and the advocacy of white well-being, the recapturing of our destiny as a people, putting an end to this racial discrimination, the harm of innocent white children, protecting our folk, recapturing our destiny, promoting the well-being of our people, putting an end to racial discrimination, this dehumanization. This subject, this simple, again, observation of the honesty within folks or not, the disingenuous nature or not, okay, is a good introduction, a doorway, a welcome into general advocacy and therefore the recapturing of our folks' destiny. So it's something simple that you can use in everyday conversations with anybody, in any situation. It's not going to get you in trouble or anything. It's just going to expose anti-white bigotry, racial discrimination. Folk who agree with you, okay, will then start to be more white sympathetic, more white positive, and there will be less anti-white, which means less promotion of anti-whiteism, which means less harm of innocent white children. So you can be a hero by simply bringing it up to folk in your everyday life, at work, family members, friends, at school, wherever it happens to be, that, and you don't have to be forceful about it, but you can slip it into any conversation if you pay attention and you're wise about how you can communicate. So, for example, there could be some TV show or some ad, that comes on. You could just be at your friend's house or at home, or you could be at work or someplace at the barber or at the pub, and the TV's on, there's footy playing or something, an ad comes on, okay, and there happens to be something anti-white in this ad. You can take that opportunity, again, anywhere. You could be at the pub drinking with random people at the pub, and you could just turn to somebody on the table next to you and just be like, all this anti-white nonsense, mate, like that, and then you just show use the example that was just in the ad. Look at that, they always got to have a non-white male with a white woman in the ads, don't they? Because they want to promote that type of racial attack, white erasure, okay, and psychological harm, and try to incentivize that white women don't get with white men, because that means there's less white people, less white children, because you can only have white children if a white woman gets with a white man. So they keep putting ads on the TV with a black man with a white woman. There's thousands and thousands of ads on all different products, all different things. They keep doing it, like this ad they just showed, right? Again, this is an example. You could be at the pub, an ad could come on, you could be saying it to a random person at the next table. And they keep doing it. Why? Because they want us to have less white children, because they hate whites. They're anti-white bigots, and they want to discriminate us on the basis of our race. And then you go into that next point, and that's a perfect example. And you can turn to someone else at another table on the other side of the pub and say, and so you're getting more people in the conversation. And that's a perfect example of how us whites are the most persecuted and discriminated. No other race is attacked like that. There's no other races having to have their women shown on TV constantly with other ethnicities of people, just to incite an attack on that race. But we're suffering that all the time. Major companies, like that company that just showed that ad, they're doing it just to attack us because of our race. Boom. So you can establish a simple conversation like that just watching a football game at the pub, okay? And get everyone thinking in the room that actually, yeah, he's right, or she's right. The white race is the most discriminated race. And all genuine, honest people, decent people in that environment are going to agree with you and are going to see you in the light of a hero protecting innocent white children, protecting a race of people from discrimination. So you're a hero standing up against discrimination, okay? And anyone who opposes you in that situation, so it's good to make it as public as possible, because anyone who opposes you in that situation simply exposes himself as an anti-white bigot who hates white people. Even if it's just subconscious and they don't actually realize that that's why they're opposing and disagreeing. But again, all genuine people, all honest people, agree and accept the reality that the white race is the most discriminated race. Okay? And the only people who will try to disagree, and if somebody does try to disagree in that situation, you bring it up, you say, you only are disagreeing, mate, because you hate white children. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Don't want to hear it. You hate white children. You want to abuse white children. You're a gronk cunt. Alright? You want us to speak about it a bit louder so everyone in the pub hears, mate, so everyone knows you just want to abuse white children, cunt? Shut your fucking mouth, alright? Anti-white scum. Alright? Obviously whites are the most discriminated race. You just don't want to agree with that because you want to discriminate against white people. So fuck off, you dirty gronk. Simple. So that's just one example of how that can be used in a public situation, and everybody is going to agree and see you as a hero protecting innocent children, and they're going to see anyone who disagrees with you as a vile bigot who wants to discriminate against innocent white children on the basis of their race. And again, you can use that in many other ways. That's just one example, all right? But fundamentally, you can bring up that simple observation of reality, that fact that as members of Western kind, we are the most discriminated folk on the planet. No one suffers the same discrimination that we do. And then, all right, good people will agree. People who don't quite understand, they might have questions. They might be like, what, really? Whites are the most discriminated? What about this and this? And then you give an example. You give that example. And then they'll go, oh no, actually, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. At the moment, right now, if we look around the world, there's attacks on white people for being white every single day. No other race is suffering that type of discrimination and stereotyping and slander and dehumanization. 100% correct, mate. Yeah. Never really thought about it, but that's pretty fucked up that the white race is the most discriminated, and so that means we have to focus the most on protecting white people and the white race from racial hatred, hate crimes, hate attacks, okay, anti-white attacks and things like this, anti-white racial discrimination. So the number one focus, all right, when it comes to racial discrimination, needs to be, how do we stop the racial discrimination against white people, because they're suffering it the worst. So that means that's the priority for all good people of all races. That's why in our community, it's not just white people who are promoting white well-being. We have plenty of non-white folk as well who work with us to promote white well-being. Why? Because whites are the most discriminated race. And they're good people. Even though they're non-whites, they're good people, good, honest people. So they support white well-being and the promotion of white well-being as more important than the promotion of the well-being of any other race. Not that it is in opposition to, we also support and promote the well-being of all races, all ethnicities. But the well-being of white people comes first, because whites are the number one target suffering the worst racial discrimination. Okay? So, it's a simple, you could use the analogy, if you have, say, 6 holes, and one hole is 10 times deeper than the other holes, all right? Well, that means you have to put 10 times more dirt into that hole to fill it up. Okay, so in the exact same situation, now we have to put 10 times more effort into promoting the well-being of white people and the protection of white people from racial discrimination, 10 times more effort than we do for for all other races. Not that we're not going to, we still support that and promote that for all races, but 10 times more for the white race. Why? Because if a hole is 10 times deeper, it takes 10 times more dirt to fill it up. And the white race is the most discriminated race on the planet, so that means it needs the most protection and the most aid, the most advocacy for well-being. And again, even non-white people who are good people agree, and they promote, first and foremost, white well-being, even before their own race's well-being, because their race isn't suffering as bad as the white race. Okay? So there you have it, folks, a simple way to get across the fact, okay, and create awareness and consciousness around this subject, because that's the most important thing here. So many people live unconscious of this fact of reality, that the white race is the most discriminated race, and that we suffer the most racial attacks, racial bigotry, right? A lot of people go through their lives, their day-to-day lives, completely oblivious, completely ignorant, okay, unaware of this fact that the white race suffers the most racial discrimination. So we just simply have to bring awareness to this fact in order to end and bring an end, okay, to cease, to stop that racial discrimination. And that is why all good people of all races, first and foremost, promote white well-being, and why coming at this conversation in this manner invites everyone in automatically, okay, no matter their backgrounds, no matter their immutable characteristics, their sexuality, their religion, etc. All of this doesn't matter. We all work together as one humanity in the promotion of white well-being. So again, this is a beautiful, simple way you can put this across and bring awareness to anti-whiteism in a manner which allows you to not be immersed in the anti-white narrative, okay, portraying anti-white stereotypes, etc., but in a way that allows you to live from a white positive narrative and allow others to step out of the anti-white narrative, okay, become aware of that, step out of it into a white positive narrative, and thus help to recapture the destiny of our folk, to put an end to all forms of racial discrimination. Hope that helps some people. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you can, like, share. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Little things like that do help out. Just, you know, it's algorithm. I don't really care how many subscribers I have, or, you know, how much engagement there is. Doesn't really make that much difference, but it helps. So even if you just want to say just leave a comment, say for the algorithm. It helps. All right. But if you can share on your social medias, your platforms, helps even more. Thank you. Imagine if just you can share this video with one person, and then if that person did the same thing, potentially everyone on the planet could watch this video, and that would save millions of innocent children from abuse and molestation. So you have the potential to be a hero and actually partake in the saving, the protecting of millions of innocent children. All you got to do is just share this video with one of your friends. So click a couple of things on your phone or your computer and be a hero today. Protect millions of children. Do the right thing. Take it easy.